And we are live. I will give it a moment for it to catch up so I can mute myself, because no one ever needs to hear two of themselves in their own ears. Trust me, it's a thing. There we go. Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dark Goddess Temple, where today we're going to be breaking the shell. So to start with, I'm going to start cleansing us all out to start with, I feel. Or I would if I know where I put my thing. It's behind me. It's good. So, welcome. I'm going to call everybody to be very present in their body. I'm taking no prisoners today. And you're all coming with me. So I want you to center in your body. I want everyone to be present. Feel who you are within this skin. I want you to understand that today we're shedding that which we no longer need. So on some level, you might feel tight in your own skin today, because we're going to be releasing that together. This will be an intuitive ritual. I will feel the energy as we go forward. There are some set parts. So everybody, we're cleansing right now. If you wish to join in, now is the time. You are connected in this place between worlds. There is no separation. Feel me. Feel the energies of the Morrigan. Hail to Beav. Heal. I am the War Crow. I am the Death Crow. I am Beav, and you will fall before me. I am the War Crow. I am the Death Crow. I am Beav, and you will fall before me. I am the War Crow. I am the Death Crow. I am Beav, and you will fall before me. I'm going to anoint my body, as Cris is already anointing her body. And if you wish to anoint your own body, I invite you to do the same with runes. To step into our energy and step into our presence and step into our power. We've come to this temple together, this online temple where we're connected through the spiritual ecosystem to engage in cleansing and rebirth. This may not be comfortable, but you are connected, you are held, you are protected here with me. and with Cris. So I'm going to invite you to do some energy work with me now before we read some tuning into what we're about to do next. I want to focus on where we are today. There has been a lot of energy clinging around today. There's been a heaviness, a constriction, the chest tightening, which is a surefire sign it's time we outgrew it. So before we move into rebirth, we're going to tear the exoskeleton together. I'm going to do this through body movement because there is a strong energy right now of being in the body, of feeling what it feels like to be in this physical manifestation. So I invite you to take in a deep breath and center yourself in the core of your power. This might represent to you the sacral chakra. This might represent to you the middle of your being. This might represent a completely different power point on your body. Trust your own intuition and go into your power center. Breathe in and feel your power, and breathe out. And breathe in and feel your power. Drawing back the back, and breathe out. Shoulders back, everybody. Power stance. Breathe in. Feel the power in your body, and breathe out. So sit straight backed. Shoulders back. Ball your fists. Fists on your limbs, on your knees. Create an L shape, a parallel. And draw that energy up through the earth with me. Connect down into your roots. Push that energy down into the earth and pull energy up through the earth. We are grounded. We are connected. We are one in our own power. Breathe it in and breathe it out. And I want you to feel where the constrictions in your energy manifest. Where are you playing small? Where are you stuck? Where are you blocked? Feel it in your body. Then I want you to rise that energy or draw that energy down, and I want you to place it over the top of your chest in an exoskeleton. This exoskeleton is fear. The things that we use to trap ourselves, the things that we use to cage ourselves and keep us small. Feel it constricting you so you can't quite move. You can't quite breathe. It's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant. And we want rid of it. So then raise your hands in front of this exoskeleton. Feel it there. Hook your fingers in. Hook it in. Feel that discomfort for all that it is. Push those fingers into that skeleton. Hear it cracking under your power. And pull it away slowly from the body. Snapping, biting, crunching, disintegrating. Be free of it. And again, place your hands back on top. It's not quite moved yet. Pull, and it's easier this time. Splitting, cracking, pulling out from the chest. Removing. Breathe. And one last time. Pushing into where that exoskeleton is, that final piece of fear, and pull it away from the body. Pull it away from yourself, your spirit, your being, and push it away from you. Deep breath. Push our energy back into the earth and pull more energy from the earth to replace that energy. Good. Allow yourself a minute to sit in this space. Do not allow fear back into this space. Move the body. Stretch. Allow your lungs to fill with breath. Good. So, we're now going to be doing something a little bit different, which is to be reading Break the Shell by Indy Ari, which is originally a song, and we're going to be reading it like a chant because we think it actually aligns with the energies of what we want to do here really well. So Cris and I will be alternating and doing things at the same time, so we haven't practiced this, so let's hope we all go along fine. And take it away, Cris.
I met a prophet, dark as night. She could see into my soul. Said she'd been watching and had some advice. She said shadows make you whole. A life without pain is a wolf in sheep's clothes, 'cause if you listen to the lessons that it holds, you'll find the gold. Child,
Is meant to break
the shell.
Life's gonna hurt,
but it's
meant to be felt.
You cannot
touch the sky from inside yourself.
You cannot
fly
until you
break the shell. I can remember when I was a child how the grown folks seemed so crazy. Why are they so angry? Why are they so loud? And when I grow up, that's never going to be me. That was the moment that I decide that I would build a wall just shy of 6 feet tall, too strong to fall. Child, it's time
to break
the shell. Life's gonna hurt, but it's meant to be felt.
You cannot
touch the sky from inside yourself.
You
cannot fly until you break the shell.
Courage is not being hard. It's time to peel back all of the layers you put between who you're meant to be and who you are, and go be who you are.
So much disappointment to finally understand that there is no such thing as perfect. We're all simply doing the best that we can, and we have a choice to live or truly be alive.
This is your
life. Child,
it's
time to break the shell.
Life's
gonna hurt,
but it's
meant to be felt.
You cannot
touch the sky from inside yourself. You cannot fly until it breaks the shell.
Child,
it's time
to break
the shell.
Life's
gonna hurt,
but it's
meant to be felt.
You cannot touch the sky
from inside your shell.
The bird cannot
fly
until it
breaks the shell.
Do with these words what you will.
It's time for us to be real.
You'll be stuck on the ground until
you finally break the shell. All credit goes to Indiari, whose song that is.
Yep.
So, we're going to be going on a guided journey, a guided meditation together. All of us together. Inside the self. So I'm going to give everyone a moment to acclimatize themselves to the feelings within those words. What does it mean to break the shell? What does it mean to be tethered? To be caged? To be afraid? What would it look like to fly? To soar? To dare? To risk? Who do you want to be? Truly. Not who they told you to be. Not who you think you ought to be. Who do you want to be? So I'm going to guide us through a meditation that I use myself. I call this the void egg. And I'm going to be using this prop to start with. So this is a spiral. And I'm going to be running my finger across it and round. And I'm going to invite you all to visualize a spiral in front of your peripheral vision. And as we go around the spiral comes closer into the self, and then we're going to journey down into the self. And you could, by all means, if you wish to close your eyes, you can just listen to me.
Hey, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have me you selected?
Oh dear. Is that not working?
Mm-mm. I just noticed it.
That's Cris.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm here. I have a face.
Sorry, that's me earlier putting my lipstick on. Anyway, right. So, we're going to visualize our spiral in front of the self, tethered to the self through the mind. There's a spiral out in front of us. We can close our eyes and see it if we wish to, or we can see it with our waking eyes if we wish to. See the spiral in front of you. See where it begins and twists around and spins into the self. Follow the energy of the spiral and draw the spiral into your being. Go around and around and around the spiral and draw the energy into the self. Around and around and around the spiral and draw the energy into the self. Around and around and around and draw the energy into the self as we go within. Draw the energy down and round and into the self and down into the body, into the power, into the center of your being. Find yourself calm. Find yourself relaxed. Find yourself at oneness. And looking without looking, know that you are surrounded by the inky blackness, by nothingness and everythingness that ever was and ever will be, the gift of perception, of darkness, of pure potential. And know that you are outside of worlds, outside of time, outside of your own body, within the space. You are encapsulated within an egg of pure void. Nothing can find you here if you do not wish it. You are safe. You are protected. You're gazing out into the inky blackness, wondering of all the things that might be within this space. Feel it a part of your own skin. Feel it warming your body. Energy transmuting from the out to the in, from the external to the internal, and the balance of all things. Feel it dancing against your skin. Limitless potential. Within this space, you are safe. We will not be remaining in safety. We must rise to meet ourselves. We must elevate. We must learn. We must endure. We must become resilient and ferocious in the face of our fear. We must push past our limitation, for in safety there is no growth. We must understand the void for what it is. A door, a gateway. We must see our shell for what it is, the beginning of rebirth. We must pass through the gates of death, death of incarnation, death of life cycles. We must greet death as a friend. We must understand it as best we can, knowing that we can never truly, completely understand it, and accept our own limitation and push past them. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you now? Who have you been? Who will you be again? How will you choose? Will you run in fear? Will you stand in the space between worlds and be afraid? Will you own your power? Will you step into it? Will you break the shell? Who they have told you you are, who they have limited you to be. You are not these things. See your glory, see your power, see your compassion, see your ability to make the world a better place. Feel the cracks in your own shell. Reach out, touch them, feel the limitation. We are to be reborn. We are to step through the gates of death again and again and again, rising to meet ourselves. Push past your limitation. Push past your shell. What is on the other side of your fear? It is yourself waiting to meet you. Push past the shell. Accept no limitation. Push past your shell. Accept no limitation. Push past your shell. Accept no limitation. Feel the shell splitting beneath you. Push your body back against it. Allow yourself to fall. Free fall through the void, through the cosmos. See planets birthing into being overhead as you fall. See the cosmos around you, limitless, full of life, full of death, full of rebirth. No, it is a reflection of what you carry within your being. Fall, Fall into it. Accept it. Surrender to it. Believe in it. Believe in yourself. Your ability to survive and thrive past the point of fear. Fall. Fall. Down and down and down again. Into your body. Into your body. Pull all that power, that potential, that limitless into yourself and sit up straight and tall and proud and come back to yourself and open your eyes. Take a little time just to recenter yourself, guys. Back into the body. If I was alone in the house, I would probably do some like howling and screaming right now, but I am not. If you want to do some howling and screaming, however, guys, feel free. If you have like a more, there aren't people in the house like there are in mine. Feel free. Little howling, little screaming, little like getting that primal energy in. Whatever you need to do. So how's everyone doing? Everyone's very quiet today. Am I overpowering everybody today? You get pulled into the well of the Norns. That does not surprise me. That does not surprise me one iota. So let's talk about rebirth for a little while, guys, here in this circle. Let's talk about some ideas. If you have any questions, by all means, pop them in the chat bar. This is at the interactive part. And what is blastingly fine? You're welcome. It was a little bit shorter. We only have an hour here today, so I normally would have taken a little longer in the void space, but I wanted to get everyone through that. How are you all feeling here in this space? We can do a little more cleansing if people feel the need, because sometimes after we do the cracking of the ribs and things, it can leave people feeling a bit like they need some more cleansing. So we can do some more cleansing if people need. But let's talk about rebirth, about what that means. Do you want to start, Cris, or shall I start?
You brought it up, you start. I'll follow lead.
Okay. So I've been talking a lot recently about what death means. I've been talking about, at least to me, and how I perceive death in this incarnation and what death means and the cycles. There's a storm raging out.
Mm-hmm. It's been rainy here all day.
So, rebirth. What is rebirth? What is death? Well, outside of incarnation death, I feel that many of us go through many cycles of life and death in our lifetime. Death is an ending. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel I have lived many lives in this lifetime. And there have been times where I've passed through gates, transition. And I have passed through many gates and left many lives behind. And I have mourned those lives in a fashion. And I've stepped into the new life. And almost every time without fail, they've been painful. That might be something about more organic lessons. It's not always the case for everybody. I'm sure some people step through their transitions with less pain, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood. But there's always a kind of mourning process that occurs when we leave something behind. I think we, as humans, resist change. And so the rebirthing is a choice, whether we like it or not sometimes. Maybe it's not entirely our choice. Maybe it's a bit of the divine going on. But I feel like after we outgrow certain things, and then we shed the shell. We break the shell. We step outside of it, and we can often be afraid of those periods of transition very much. But it's always worth it. Always. As we become who we are meant to become, we tear back the layers of conditioning and find our truest selves. How about you, Cris?
Yeah, I mean, I always saw it as quite literal, in terms of metaphorical, right? Like of like giving birth and that like first breath and the labor pains leading up to it, and how difficult not only being reborn, but like the transition spot, like that liminal spot can be. You know, as humans, we like to be really sure of things. And when we are not able to do that, which is usually in that in-between pause point, when we've gotten rid of a lot of things and walls are breaking down, but we don't necessarily yet have the things that are, you know, for the new chapter yet. We don't necessarily live in that yet. It can be difficult there too. And that is a process of the rebirth for me. Like it's all one kind of big hodgepodge, where it blends and there are ebbs and flows where some days you feel more in the new, some days you're looking more at what you've let go of, and some days you just kind of feel nowhere and everywhere at once, which can be good and also very frustrating. So rebirth has with it a sort of lesson of patience as well as it is destruction and building, like steadfastness. It has a patience with it too, which is something I find with working with Hel and a lot of her transitional focus, her death focus. There's definitely a patience in there and a compassion and sort of an inner fire. It's interesting, when we were doing the meditation, I veered off and went somewhere else.
Of course you did.
Yeah. And I actually went to an ancestral cave that I go to sometimes, and I stepped into their fire and became the fire, which happens sometimes. And with that, they extended their arms and also became fire, as you can see with the candle talking. And then from there, it all went up in one big, like massive bonfire, very Beltane-ish, and became this sort of light being, very almost fey looking, where there was no clear outline. It was all just yellow with like orange radius and shifting and flowing in the center of that, and just kind of spiraling up it to raise the energy more. And that's sort of the visual that I was getting on my end. But yeah, I think Rebirth is also, I mean, therein from that, it also looks different for everyone.
For sure.
It feels different for everyone, just like death is the same.
See, that's why I was going to invite everyone to scream. That sentence right there, Draven. I was going to invite everyone to scream and stuff, because like it's so powerful. But like if I scream, like seriously, there'll be a load of people up here before you know it. Like, what's happening? Who's murdering you? I need to get outside and record some of this at some point, really. Right. Would everyone like a card while we just talk about Rebirth some? So we have some divination.
You know what the birth energy reminds me of? It reminds me of in the Earth Magic Oracle, the card Whale with Breach.
The Breach.
Like, it's arcing back.
Oh, Breach Birth. Breach Birth. Yeah. Interesting.
Let's see if I can find it. And I'll just show the picture.
Okay.
Yep, right here. That was fast. So this is the Earth Magic Oracle deck, and it has, I'm trying to talk into the mic so it switches to me and stays here. Hello, 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 hello. There we go. Anyway, this is Whale Breach, and as you can see, he's like finally cracking the surface, and he's arced back so that the sun is hitting like his throat, his chest, like his heart, his belly. And there's like a freedom to the energy. There's a release to the energy. There's a inhale. at the same time, it's like a simultaneous, like, finally, a relief.
You know that feeling. Right, so, card for everybody for the energies. Outlaw.
Oh.
This is the
How
outlaw.
about that?
How about that? That sounded very Canadian for some reason.
I know.
A boot.
How about that?
How about that?
Sorry.
I can probably guess you would terrify the whole valley if you screamed.
For the record, I love Canadians. They're wonderful, sarcastic people. It's great.
So, how are you the outlaw? Because this is going to be important going forward till the next one. How are you the outlaw? How do you stand outside? Whale medicine. I could tell you what whale medicine is, but I'm talking about the outlaw. Hang on. What's a whale outlaw?
An outlawed whale?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a whale that doesn't have a school.
It's uneducated. Is that what we just learned?
I don't know.
I'm going to be moving my body, and I honestly invite everyone to keep moving their body because I feel like there's a stagnation thing that's happening, and it feels like we need some warrior energy. So I'm inviting people to do it. Because there's a very strange, and we're in Aries, and it doesn't feel like Aries. We were talking about this before. Oh. See, you always impress me. Look at you go. The outlaw to me is very literal and at the same time makes sense. You break your shell, some shun you because you're brave enough to do so. Yeah. Reaching a point where you're not afraid to have people's disapproval. It's kind of hitting the nail on the head. So, what do you believe in, even if people shun you for it? I feel like I'm an outlaw in life due to not being able to fit in anywhere. Yeah, I got you. I read between the lines, Luna. I got you. Don't worry. I don't feel like I fit in either. I think that outsider hedge rider thing, that's me. That's how I feel. I feel like being on the outskirts quite often in a lot of ways. And that's not necessarily a weakness. Sometimes that's a power. It can be lonely. It can make us feel lonely until we reach people and connect with people who deeply mean something to us. Cris is one of those people. Other people know who they are. Wink. Yeah, exactly, Luna. So this is how I think of myself, right? I'm too light for some of the dark crowds. Too dark for some of the light crowds. And I'm like, I don't think about it in terms of light and dark. I'm like here in the middle in the flux, like messing about with both. That's how I feel. Being different seems to make you a social outlaw. Yeah. Yeah, being different. And the sad fact of that is everybody is different. And conformity, conformity is like my stagnant ick word. I really don't like it. So, whale medicine for Draven at the back.
Well, that specific card actually is usually calling for like a break in routine.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is. It's like, if you need a break, take a break. Go on a trip. If you want to do something else, like, take a different way to work or, basically break up the monotony so that you are paying more attention to things and you feel more alive and in the moment because you're not on autopilot. So that's more what that card is specifically about. But Whale also has sound medicine.
Yeah, memory keeper.
And the howling that you're talking about and stuff. Like it's very much like a sort of like dolphin on the like Akashic Records thing that people talk about with it. It knowing the stories and the songs.
I'm going to just invite everyone now to keep moving the body. Just keep moving your body. I'm doing this. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to keep moving my body. It feels like the need to is really strong. Keep moving it. It's power in the sense you believe in yourself to the point where your restraints and the ego of what others look at you is shredded and you step into power. I might adore you. Anyway, so Milani, I am an outlaw for putting my needs first and making waves in familial connections, feeling untethered. Oh, girl. You said a mouthful there. Putting your needs first. We're
That's
not
been
meant
a
to.
theme.
Mm-hmm. Learning to put your needs first. Yeah. And it's brave. It's brave to put your own needs first sometimes. It's not selfish. As witches, I feel we become masters of the liminal and learn to be comfortable being on the fringe. Well, the only thing we can truly master is ourselves. So I always say. And as witches, we do seek to... I don't know if we master the liminal or we seek it and seek to understand it as much as we can and integrate with it. And because the idea of mastery, right, is that you've kind of reached a kind of level that there's nothing beyond that. And I feel like with magic and the spirits, there's always more. The well never dries. I might be nitpicking with words, and I don't mean to, I don't mean to nitpick or anything, but I'm just saying, like,
She's a Virgo, it's gonna happen a lot.
Personally attacked. So, like, I feel like we can definitely seek to master ourselves, which is, honorable, noble, worthwhile. Yeah, Virgo suns, Aries moon. Whoo! Yeah. Okay. We're all talking about star signs again. How do we always manage to do this every time?
Because one of us either ends up being really Virgo or really Capricorn in our thing, and then
the other one points it out.
Everybody's like, these are the things that I am, and I am also very that.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we get sidetracked on like what's going on and stuff with Zodiac.
So River says, being the outlaw is creating my unique path, being the rogue charioteer. I like the idea of the rogue charioteer very much. That's neat. The greatest key for me is to stop looking to others. Oh, you might be repeating something I said to Cris not that long ago, just so you know. The greatest key for me is not looking to others for how you are perceived. All are special in their own way, and that power of belief in the self terrifies some, but it is strength.
Which is also especially funny because I've said it to her earlier this week.
Yeah.
So, flip-flop back and forth.
Hot
potato.
Hot potato. Hot potato. So, yeah, personalities are multifaceted, absolutely. We shouldn't be trying to make ourselves smaller. It's like being an outlaw because people get offended by empowered people. Wow, there's a mouthful. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If you threaten the established norms, the conformity, if you step outside of what people think is acceptable in any kind of life, you're going to threaten them. You're going to poke those shadows. I know all about it. I poke shadows all the time. If you see you coming, cure their eyes. Well, let us not forget there is a lot of fire in the energy of fudge the status quo. You can say fuck here, it's all right. Fudge the status quo. Fudge it. Fudge. Always poke and harass the shadows.
Oh, Joey is literally known as the Shadow Poker. That's one of her titles.
Yeah. So just in case anybody's like, what dirty thing did you just say Joey does in the dark? Joey pokes your shadows in the dark while you're not looking. Oh, baby. No. So I accidentally draw people's shadows out of them without meaning to.
Yeah. That's
what that is. Just by being me sometimes. It's great. If you see me come. So I think we're all kind of calming from that intense meditation. So if everybody's ready, I'm going to do some Stitchomancy because we are drawing to the close of this already. Poke away, you dirty bitch. Dirty. Dirty girl. Anyway. Stitchomancy. Boop. Oh, as if. Right, okay. Stitchomancy is mirror work. You ready for this? Are we ready for this? How you choose to show up magnetizes what shows up for you. Or the camera will magnetize itself and not focus. This camera, guys. This camera.
Oh, thanks for being here, Lady Raven.
Thank you. Empowered people are often shunned until someone needs them. Happens all the time. Yeah, tell me about it. People will use it. When I need an outlaw inspiration, I look towards the heroic dead. It's hard to make history without being in some way an outlaw. That's a very interesting perspective. I like that. I like that a lot. History is also problematic, though, because it's written by the victors. So it is a problematic thing. But yes, it's like that well-behaved women rarely make history idea. Be a rebel. Show up. So this month, or the next 2 weeks at least, guys, I want you to focus on what it means to be rebellious. What it means to overthrow the system. Whatever that system might be that rankles and shackles and binds you to the old, outmoded way of being. What keeps you down?
Gravity.
I swear to God, the two people I talk to most do this to me all the damn time. That's exactly what he would have said. Ugh.
I couldn't resist. Chrome, no, screw gravity for real though.
We want to float, guys. Well, you can all fight gravity if you like. Get back to me. Let me know how that goes. Free.
No, nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Not even a budge.
Feeling insecure after breaking the shower. Okay, so I'm going to address that because that's important. Okay. So if you're feeling insecure after the shell, I want you to ground into earth again. I want you to find your roots and draw your energy down into the earth through that pushy gravity. Down into the earth. Gravity is so pushy.
Right?
Remember to have a giggle. Remember to have a laugh. Remember to have fun with it.
Gravity always breathing? Why are you breathing? What? Mind your business, gravity.
Why are you always falling? Why are you always putting me down?
Why are you breathing? Why are you always breathing? Like all in my neck, trying to tell me what to do.
Dragging me down, keeping me down, bringing me down low.
All right. Anyway, yes.
So if you're feeling insecure, into your roots, have a giggle, have a laugh, but get into your roots down in that earth. Move the body a little, because seriously, moving the body right now is so freaking important. Keep yourself moving. Don't get stagnant.
Something I like to do is put on my favorite music because I'm very, very music oriented.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
So I will even go to the extent of making like playlists for certain energy that I want to bring up or invoke. And so like if I'm feeling kind of crappy, I have literally a playlist called Feel Goods that I go to, and I will blast that and get up and dance around, or like bob along in my seat if I'm working at the same time or something like that. The candle clearly agrees.
Yeah.
So, wouldn't hurt to get up out your seat.
Yep. Seriously.
Sweating like hell. Well, if you're already sweating, then you might as well dance and like have a reason.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some music on in the background. I'm gonna move my body. I'm gonna encourage everyone to do the same. Right. So what can I put on in the background that is not too distracting? Okay, that one.
And also that won't copyright you.
No. Other people aren't gonna hear it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So put some music on now, guys. Some music that speaks to you. Slap it on right now. You've got approximately 30 seconds before I stop moving about like a crazy person, and you get invited to move about like a crazy person with me.
Dre Michael asks, what are some songs that you view as empowering? Well, first of all, we could give you ours, but I will say before any of that, like, it doesn't matter. It's what you find empowering. So finding things like rhythms or like lyrics that really speak to you. Some of my stuff doesn't even have lyrics. It's just like drums. Or Wardruna is a really good one. I will just listen to Wardruna because there's such a drive behind it that it gets you going. Or depending on the song, it can be like, yep, Danaheim's good. Depending on the song, it can be like a serious focusing thing, or it could be a more of a lighter, like galloping kind of energy to it. Also, I'm a metalhead. I feel like that's not a secret at this point. And I will listen to a lot of different metal depending on like what that is and what I want to, have from that. So like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, like a lot of the classics are very like up tempo, like da-da-da-da, charge into battle. Like even if you're feeling a little cheesy, Manowar is a thing too. Like all of that. It doesn't have to be specifically pagan. It can be whatever those songs are for you. And a lot of times with music, we have memories that link into that. And so if you have things that link to good memories or good times, maybe with family or with friends or certain ages that you just think of as like a good part of your life, like that kind of stuff, and making playlists around that, really helpful. I know when I clean my house, I put on a playlist that is specifically kind of like the feel-good energy. Because I'm clearing things out and I want to draw that in. So think of it outside of like, Slayer, I see you, Tracy. So think of it outside of just like, we can only play like Lorena McKenna and Inya and like Kellyanna, who they're all lovely. I love all of those, but like, that's not the only thing that you have to listen to that you can pull from. Music itself is an emotional language. Like you can play a minor scale and a major scale, and there's a totally different emotional response in people to it. It's a proven fact. So think about that when you're thinking about magic, when you're thinking about energy, when you're thinking about raising things. There's a reason that a lot of chants were made. There's a reason that drumming and rattling and all of these things come into stuff. Chimes, anything that has to do with sound. So yeah, you can spread. It doesn't have to be specifically this thing. You can do any of it, but it's what's empowering to you.
I like music I can dance to. I like dancing. I've got Banks, the new song by Banks, on in the background right now, which I love, and it's like, and it's just that's it. It's
exactly like that.
But I also like things like in this moment, I love like Roots and the Rain and Fire song that gets me pumped. Dorothy really gets me pumped as well. I love that whiskey.
Yeah. Dorothy, my power song from her is Missile.
Yeah. I like Whiskey by her and Raise Hell or whatever it is, that one. Don't tell in jokes and make me giggle on stream.
Yes. Oh, another one that's really good is Tenger Cavalry. They do like Tuvan throat singing. They're amazing. They're like a metal Tuvan throat.
Oh, the Ivor song. That is, how do you say her? Ivor? The one that Yeah,
think that's how you say
the
it.
troll, and she has like the drumming one on stage where she does all the.
Oh yeah.
One.
I'm probably gonna butcher this, but like Troll Abundant or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
That's so good. Yes, Mother Danzig is a good one. Danzig for me is also a good one. Like I feel like Danzig has a lot of like spunk and snarl to him. Misfits also in general, like old Misfits, I adore. So yeah, I love that. Like oh god, there's so many. Like I had a mixtape of like all my favorite Misfits songs at one point, and that was like my driving tape. Like when I didn't want to get up in the morning to go somewhere, I kept that there in the, when I say tape, I mean CD. I kept that in my car for a long time, and I would play Misfits.
But the whole point of this is just music to elevate, music to bring you back again. Within Temptation can be great. I like their song Iron Within Temptation. Come on,
I'm not
camera.
as big on Within Temptation, but I do like Nightwish, especially their newer singer. I actually like the growl in her voice. Floor, that's her name. I was brain farting. I'm back now.
Danzig has a song for the Morrigan. Oh, now I need to know. Now I'm going to listen to it. We might be singing some Morrigan Annex songs on the way out. Let's find out. Danzig Morrigan. This is really fucking professional right now, but I don't care. I need to know. So they do. Now I need to, now we need it. Now we need it. What is it? No, don't do Pikachu movie adverts. No.
Leah says the most accidentally powerful ritual I ever experienced was one where I listened to mostly Sean Paul. So any music can be ritual music. Exactly. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And even not only that, like the act of creating music or creating dance to music, it's that in itself is too. So yeah, like that's one of my favorite things to do is there's a karaoke app called Smule, and I'll enter competitions and stuff and build songs. Like I did a cover of The Ripper by Judas Priest more recently, and like it's fun getting into that zone, getting into the story and the energy of the song as you're building it even.
I'm listening. I'm listening to this Morrigan song.
Is that why you're quiet?
I'm listening. I need to know. Is it good? I get so angry about so many songs for the Morrigan, so I need to know if it's good or not. So many songs for the Morrigan just aren't deep enough.
You'll hear her official verdict.
Official Virgo verdict.
The Virgo verdict.
I didn't know there were this much metal karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can feel free to put all your favorite metal bands in there, Fenris, if you like.
Wait, I didn't know there was much metal. Oh no, Smule. There's a ton of them. Basically, people can remove the vocals and they upload the songs, and there's a lot of metalheads on Smule. And like we get on and do that. I've sang Iron Maiden. Dio's on there. Dio's one of my favorites. Like top 5. Love Dio. Anything he has touched, for that matter. Or did touch, I should say. But yeah, like yes, there's a bunch on there. I was shook as well about that.
I'm
but
a
yeah,
bit
In the Air Tonight, yeah, totally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but and it's not just metal either. Like you can go into rap is built on storytelling. Like that's literally what they're doing. So you can find that in hip hop, in R&B, soul, blues is storytelling basis and people talking about their feelings and like, you know, what they're going through. Jazz off of that is built on feeling. Like music all links in that way. So whatever end you're coming from, like there's an emotional genre, if you will, for that, however you're feeling it.
I don't feel that Morrigan song, guys. I'm so sorry. It's monotone, and I'm not feeling that. I need depth.
May I share your Smule page? Yeah, I mean, if you want to share, it's on there in public, so anybody that wants to hear it or share it around, go ahead.
Yeah.
You can, and for those of you who don't, that's my username on it.
Better off with around you. So if we're all good,
Excuse me. I require more tea.
I shall ground us, center us, and say goodbye. So thank you for joining us today, guys. We've gone over a little bit because we had a chat for a little while. Chris's voice is incredible.
Thanks.
And if you didn't know, you can go over to chrisashburn.com and buy 2 songs for Death and Life on chrisashburn.com.
Yes,
right now.
I actually channel Hell Speak on it, and there is a death song and a birth song and an accompanying PDF that allows you to build your own ritual for transition.
There will also be a Nordic Goddess Hell meditation on there soon.
Yeah, there will be a Hell journey coming up soon, yeah.
So, everybody, I'm going to go on my knees and poke your shadow because I'm kinky like that. Okay, right.
I was not told that this was part of the ritual.
This is always part of the ritual. Bald, boobs, dungeons. It's where I live, right? In the dungeon. Right, everybody, move your shoulders. We're going to wiggle the shoulders as we're moving. We're getting back into the body. So everybody wiggle your shoulders. Don't tell everyone you know I am. Jeez. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle the body. Get in the body.
Yes, I do game. I have heard of that game, and I know Hell is in it. I don't personally care for the representation, but I do know it, and I appreciate anything that comes into social media awareness about her.
We're wiggling. Everybody better be wiggling. And some claps, I think.
Oh, we get just the claps. That's how I started. I was anointing and then like doing this and then.
Are you calling me a worm right now? I'm not sure I'm offended right now.
Even the candle's dancing.
Push all your energy down into the earth, guys. Push it all down. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Thank you for joining us today in this liminal space. You may feel a little bit weird afterwards for a little bit because we have been doing some rebirthing things, and I was because we're in sync, baby, you know. Yes?
Water, protein. If you guys are feeling shaky, if you're having trouble leveling out, get some protein. I don't care if it's meat or nuts or whatever, but get some protein. Shut up, Joey. Get some protein.
Get some sausage, bitches.
Not that kind of nut. Get some protein, get some water in you, plenty of water, and just kind of like be in your body. Music helps too. Also,
Clap your hands, stomp your feet.
Also, you can go outside barefoot if it's warm enough for you. That's my favorite, like, go-to. when I was younger and learned that I was a physical empath and I would take things on, like that was my go-to. It was my lifesaver. Ah! Oh, puns. I appreciate puns in the chat. Am I mad? No, but my feet might be frostbitten. Eh?
The darkness, carry your torches. I can't sing today.
No one else is hearing that, Joey.
I know. I don't care. It's my temple. I can sing at people. So, guys, thank you for joining us as always. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate people turning up to see us. Hopefully, you had a good time. I would love to make these like longer, but seriously, we've already gone on for over an hour. And if we did it anymore, I would be like cramping up, sitting on the floor. Mm-hmm. And Chris, it would be running into Chris's time too. Mm-hmm. This has been Chris and Joey's Sex and Death Hour.
It has a ring to it, though, doesn't it?
I mean, what were you expecting? Like... Bye, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next one, probably in a couple of weeks now. Yeah. We need to do one on Chris's channel soon. And
yeah, so if you're not subscribed to me, go subscribe to me. Which I think it'll be underneath the video.
It will be underneath the video once I go back in and sort it, yes. So have a great weekend, guys. And Friday tomorrow, but still have a great time, and remember, be the outlaw, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next Dark Goddess Temple with hand movements. Bye, guys. Go get some meat. Bye, everybody.